pull up a chair if you wish to sit at the table. Hello and welcome to Let's Bring It to the Table, where we discuss ways to improve our lives by addressing issues that directly affect us. Hey, Logan.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How
All
everything
right.
going with you?
Everything going all right with me.
Oh, okay. That's good.
I know I'm reading the subject and everything thing, and uh, this type of subject we have right now, I
Hmm.
need you to keep it real.
You want me to
Can
keep
you
it
do
real?
that for me? Yeah, keep it real.
Man, say less. Say less. Say less. Say
Okay.
less. Say less. But before I keep it real, I know I want you to keep it real.
Okay.
I want everybody to see something.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I want to
That's
see
how
our.
you're gonna start it off.
Yeah, that's me keeping it real. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna start it off.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's it. All right.
You've got to check this out.
Dope shirt.
Thanks. This device has the
Captain
ability
America?
to. What?
The shirt.
No. This is Juneteenth. Anyway, I want you to give this
What
a
is
try.
that?
I'm trying to tell you.
No. What's Juneteenth?
You've never heard of Juneteenth.
I don't think so.
Commemorating the end of slavery in the United States following the Civil War.
Oh, yeah. No. That was the Emancipation Proclamation.
Proclamation 95. No. The Emancipation Proclamation was an executive order issued by Abraham Lincoln, changing the status of over 3.5 million enslaved African Americans to free African Americans.
Yeah.
That was January 1st, 1863. Juneteenth was June 19, 1865, 2.5 years later.
So after the Emancipation Proclamation, states still had slaves?
Juvenile, isn't it?
That's crazy.
Let him cook.
Don't do that.
Okay, but see, that's what makes Juneteenth so important.
State defiance.
Juneteenth is a reminder of how hard states fought in America to preserve the institution of slavery.
Okay, I can see that.
Juneteenth is technically a Texas celebration.
How so?
Seeing how Major General Gordon Granger rode into Galveston, Texas with his troops to let 250,000 enslaved African Americans know that they had already been legally free.
Still, the country should celebrate that.
True, but technically,
Here we go.
even after June 19, 1865, some states still had slaves.
How'd that happen?
The Emancipation Proclamation was exercised in the northern states, who identified as the Union, but it wasn't exercised in the deep southern states, known as
Them racist ass
the
Confederates.
Confederacy.
But wasn't slavery the main reason of the Civil War?
Oh, indubitably.
So even though the South lost, they were still like Emancipation Proclamation. We still having slaves.
As Childish Gambino eloquently put it, this is America. Exactly.
So neither the Emancipation Proclamation or Juneteenth marked the end of slavery.
Correct. And it took the government one final chess move to overcome the Defiant Five.
What's the Defiant Five?
The Defiant Five states gun-ho in maintaining slavery: Delaware, Maryland, Missouri, Kentucky, and West Virginia.
What was the chess move?
The ratification of the 13th Amendment, December 6, 1865, ending one of the worst atrocities in U.S. history.
So even though Juneteenth doesn't officially mark the end of slavery, it's still symbolic of the country's deep struggle with it.
Not only that, but Juneteenth looks to the future and what's possible for America. The flag, for example, is a symbol of liberty and justice. The red, white, and blue incorporates all Americans being able to understand and recognize the importance of African American history. The supernova illustrates the birth of a new star. The star represents all Black people free in all 50 states of America. And the red arch is symbolic of the new horizon ahead.
Damn, that's deep.
It's Juneteenth.
I want one of them shirts now.
Relax. I'm taking pre-orders.
All right, what was the thing you wanted to show me?
Yeah, it's a multi-generational temporal interpolator.
A what?
MTI. It sends you back to the closest genetically related individual based on a biological relationship, like a common ancestor. Precisely. How? Via a space-time gap, predominantly somewhere in between the 1400s and 1800s. During the transatlantic slave trade. Really? Yes. So you activate the time jump by flipping the switch. But before you do, just make sure you hold your breath before you go. You time jump, but your time travel is based on how long you can hold your breath. Your present self is being inserted into a time period which no longer exists, vis-a-vis oxygen no longer exists. Ergo, you can only enter with the oxygen from your time period. How often do you do this? Let's just say I can hold my breath for 13 minutes. Jeez. It's my favorite pastime. No pun intended. That's pretty good. Why the hell would time traveling back to an active slave plantation be your favorite pastime? Like I said, it's my favorite pastime. That doesn't bother you? In the beginning. But as they say, that happened 400 years ago. You should keep that in the past. So, keep it in the past.
I think that is freaking hilarious.
Yes, it is. I mean, you keeping it real.
Yes, I am. I really feel like, sometimes we don't know the real from the fake, or, everything in between. But I think that he really, really captured, some things that we look at for Juneteenth, and we sometimes we don't understand. There's a lot of people that never knew that there was a such thing as Juneteenth.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's a lot of people, they kept it on the low. They did their
Yeah.
little celebration within their little towns, especially a lot of black towns, because they understood the assignment of celebrating freedom. And as he said, a lot of it, there were still states after they had to go back in and redo the 13th Amendment and to force them to free black people. But since we're free, what are we doing with it?
Mm.
So,
Blaming,
supposedly.
blaming, blaming.
And shaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Ain't
what.
taking no type of accountability.
Mm-mm.
Very little effort in all.
Yeah, because and before we go any further, y'all see that number 678-888-1723. You are more than welcome to call in, and comment. And while we're commenting and you're talking about what you think about the shaming and blaming of not taking accountability, go ahead and like and share. Share is caring. Share this live with people, that would gain something from it, because we're always looking for a solution. Okay? Thank you. And Logan,
Yes.
what do you feel? How do you feel about people who always pointing their finger back at somebody else instead of taking accountability? Back in the day when Juneteenth and when we were coming out of slavery and stuff, our people did a lot of protesting and trying to make changes with being told, you're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to come over here and do that. You can't do that. And then we went and we built our own, and we still got shunned for it because they destroyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but still, do we keep this as real as possible of not blaming them, and we do something about it, or do we just live with the shame of that we don't take accountability and straighten things out in our everyday life?
Well, we need to start taking accountability and stop blaming other social society, um, how they reflect on us instead of building our own social structure. And that's what our forefathers did. Ours, not them, ours. That dealing with Juneteenth. Even that this is a international holiday now. That when we start building ourselves, and they say charity starts at home.
Mm-hmm.
So you start at home. So home is within you.
Yeah.
You have to start beginning to change your mindset, how you actually look at things. It's very simple of leaning back and blaming my job is not paying myself, paying enough to make me make ends meet. But you have to hold yourself accountable or how you go about to make your own means meet
Right.
instead of putting something in somebody else's hand.
Right.
So who else know what you actually need?
Only you.
Only you.
Yeah. You're
So
absolutely right.
right. So they seen they put up the effort. They either destroy it. Well, I'm going. Oh, I didn't like that building anyway. Let me redo it this way, how I really want it.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to take advantage. Just because someone shut the door and you're gonna blame it on yesterday. What about today? What about the future? So you have to work hard. It may be a struggle, but you won't know until the struggle is over
Yeah.
and you learn from it.
You're right. So let's take it a little bit deeper.
Okay.
Even back then, a lot of things would go on, problems and everything, and
Hmm.
now we got it today. I, being who I am, I think about things in the way that it is. They gave us a month for Black History, 28 days. Who monopolized on that? I know we're supposed to, not monopolize, but, come together, teach something, learn something, understand something. But I think that people don't get it when, like even with Juneteenth, I noticed last year, Walmart had plates with Juneteenth. You see a lot of corporations, whites, doing way more than we do for Juneteenth because all they see is that we are another form of slavery, which is instead of just making us make money for them, now they're able to take that money back,
Right.
because we're $1 trillion business for them because we spend money on everything. We are the ones who always because of and it's innate in us because of our ancestry line of not having much and having to do with that we became these type of people. We got to have everything, the nicest cars, the nicest uh homes, the nicest of anything, and we're willing to live above our means instead of staying at a place where you're not one day away from being homeless or broke.
Hmm.
And so we can't blame anybody for that but ourselves, or feel ashamed about it because this is what we do. Instead of taking back, when you take back something,
Right.
you don't give out to those who oppress you. I used to love to hear, how remember when we stayed in Detroit and we'll be walking home and from the corner store where we weren't going to the by the corner store, but we would pass it, and you will hear a black guy saying, "Yeah, we sticking it to the man. The man
Hmm.
keeping us down, can't get a job." But they weren't doing anything to even try to, but they had somebody to blame.
Hmm.
And then they had to go home in shame because they came home with nothing and they had a family to feed instead of, taking back, what is yours. I'm
Right.
not saying that is anything wrong with, well, it is. I am saying that. Why am I trying to sugarcoat? Because that ain't working right for me. My tooth started hurting. um, we have to stop doing that. Every time you turn around, when someone brings something up, it's always pointing the finger. Well, what about them? What about them? What about them? No, what about you?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you so innate in wanting to blame somebody else instead of taking ownership and doing something about it?
Correct.
Juneteenth is ours. Texas was free. They was the last to be freed in that little town. They didn't even know. It was 2 years to get to them to let them know. And that's something to be celebrated in in our own sense, like other things. Still, slavery still goes on today, you know. And we have to do something about the fact that when we are given something, we have to own it wholeheartedly. Juneteenth is ours. Walmart
Mm-hmm.
should be making millions of dollars off our backs just because of some dead gum plates, some T-shirts that they done took and done screenshot, and it's not even gonna last. You should be going to a black business that's doing that. You should go to someone who you can help uplift.
Mm-hmm.
That's been given doing Juneteenth, been going to these different celebrations and selling things to give you memorabilia, instead of going to Walmart, Target, or any other place.
Right.
We have to change the gears in our mindset in order to understand, yes, it's ours. So let's do it right.
Correct.
You know?
That's very true. Very true. That we need to circulate to money within ourselves.
Right.
We know Juneteenth is coming up, the third Saturday in June. So
When
we should, after Juneteenth, we need to be planning how to go about to celebrate this celebration among ourselves. If you're going to say this is the second Fourth, similar to Fourth of July, well, act like it. Celebrate. Where's the firecrackers? Where's all these things that we do for the Fourth? Where the barbecue cookout? Make the money go through somehow, much as you can, in a local business, black owned. And there's a reason I'm not saying African American. A white person can be an African American. An Asian person can be an African American. And that's why I say black people or people of color. You have the other nations, other cultures that celebrate their own thing, but somehow our name that back in the 80s were placed on us have came to be can actually represent everybody else.
Yeah.
So I have to use the color black, like the tones are black. So when you does that, and you have to look forward a how to improve your social economical surrounding versus theirs.
Hmm.
So we learn.
Yeah.
If we know we're going to manufacture it, you heard of the slave route. Well, start doing a merchant route from Africa to the United States and circle the money back to Africa, and that money coming back into the United States. Make a circle. The Mexican does it. Asia does it.
Hmm.
Why can't
While
we?
you saying that, let me inspire on that.
Yes.
You know that, and and a lot of people probably never paid that any attention, but let me enlighten y'all on something.
Okay.
Pandemic,
All right.
COVID,
Okay.
during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
everything was shut down.
Right.
200,000 businesses closed.
Mm-hmm.
That's a reality. 2,000 businesses closed
Right.
after COVID when they opened us back so we can go outside.
Mm-hmm.
200,000 businesses closed in the United States, but guess who didn't get caught? Guess who? Guess who?
Who? Who?
Guess who didn't miss a beat? Left here and then came back.
Who? The Asians?
The Asians. The nail shops opened up doing business as business is. Their restaurants opened up, didn't miss a beat. Think about it.
Yeah.
Anything that related to them, they came back over here and started working like it wasn't anything. Nothing had
Uh-huh.
happened.
Right.
Nothing had happened.
But
200,000 true American-owned businesses are permanently closed as of today.
within them Asian business, who heavy populated the nail shop,
We do.
the hair replacement?
We do. The salons, not the salons, but the wig stores, the beauty stores, yeah, they came back open and didn't miss a beat.
And that's where a lot of us ran to,
Yeah,
back
because
to
we had
that.
been at home and we was all hair all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
So that is a lesson within itself, that we have to have a backup plan when we do the business. A lot of our business of people of color stayed open because they knew what to do and
mhm,
took advantage of that.
yeah,
But even though that platform, those different platforms, or creating their own platform within their business to steadily keep people employed.
yeah.
So, what did we actually learn for there? Is we going back, hiding?
You know what I think that we learned is because we were so dependent on jobs, and you hear them even still today, they still complain that a lot of the blacks are not in the workforce.
Mm-hmm.
I give a hand clap to you all that did not go back, not going back, ain't ain't even looking that way because they say you lazy. They say you ain't doing nothing. But we know you got businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Millionaires in our black world
Right.
has been birthed millionaires. People making six figures. This was birthed because of the innate that's in us, which we call
Mm-hmm.
our hustle and our flow.
Yes.
We get out here and we do whatever it takes to make sure, not the stealing like they try to say. We get out here, we have to sit on the side of the road and sell lemonade for $10. We're gonna get it sold because
Right.
it's the best lemonade you ever wanted to taste.
Mm-hmm.
I know someone who their job has shut down. He took his grandmama's recipes and he started making pies. In his apartment complex, people buying pies. He had rent paid, light bill paid, gas bill paid. He did the doggone thing.
Right.
So you can't say when they say no, we go.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us is so dependent on the government. Our mindset, we don't know any other way. But if you had to be out here and you're in the workforce and you're using your mind to help them make millions and billions of dollars, you can do it for yourself
Yes.
instead of blaming them. And stop blaming, talking about, oh no, you can't go deal with black businesses. Yes, you can. Yes,
Yes.
it's a struggle. It's no different than a relationship. When one man won't do you right, when one female won't do you right, next,
Next.
next. We're not saying everybody's perfect. We're not saying everybody's good because there's no good or bad on the other side either. It is what it is. We complain when it's our own. And why do we do that?
I try. I,
A white man can come and steal $2,000 from you and done hoodwink you and told you that this was the best thing and you do nothing about it. Don't even say nothing. But then when you get with a black person that wronged you and it wasn't even $100, your mama know, Jody know, Carissa know, the twins know, Francesca over there on the east side of California know, and you over here on the west side. I mean, she's on the west side, you on the east side. Everybody gets to know when it's somebody black that wronged you. But you'll keep your mouth quiet when somebody white wronged you. Just like no different than, I can give a good example.
Okay.
Black people were no longer slaves and they start putting their money in the banks like the white people. And the white man was over the bank and he stole all their money. He got away clean.
Yeah.
And it was millions and millions of dollars. And then Frederick Douglass came to take over to try to fix it. Wasn't a good look.
Wow. Because they were all of a sudden wanting to blame it on Fred.
You know, we take on somebody else's responsibilities and everything. And all he was trying to do was clean up what they messed up. We got to learn how to keep that same energy when it comes to others. I do. I remember when I was telling a friend about how the Asians disrespects us, and we still go to them. And we went to this place, and I wasn't thinking because I was hungry, and I shouldn't have got my food. I shouldn't have got it, and I made it loud and clear that she was being disrespectful. And then these firemen came in. They were all white. And they were being very disrespectful and didn't even leave her a tip. And she was all smiles and all grins in their face and everything. I kept my tip too, because you weren't finna get it, just being disrespectful. That respect was nowhere on the table that day. And I let her know how I felt after I got my food. So, but I never, ever dined at that place again. Never.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're disrespectful to me, I know I can't do it. I'm just not gonna do it. Should I have said something? Maybe I'll go back and do a review. Maybe. Just to see how she changed her tune.
Okay.
Maybe not. No. I ain't even gonna give her that gratification. But you have places that's just like that. They give you, I know a beauty supply place that's right down the street to me. Everybody was talking about, oh yeah, they're good. And this lady followed me around the store the whole time. And I asked her, why are you following me? And she was like, oh, no, not follow you. And I was like, oh, okay. You're not following me? Okay. And then I asked her for assistance because she said she wasn't following me. I was looking for a particular type of blonde wig. And, you have those, and y'all have to be mindful of that with those fluorescent lights. Things ain't what you think they are. And so when I got the wig and I paid for it and I hit the door, that wig looked at a whole nother color of orange that was not blonde. And I looked back and she said, oh, no, you buy, we don't take back. I said, ma'am, your sign says if you leave out this door with it, you will not refund it. I said, I'm still inside at the door, and I'm seeing the natural light because I had opened the door. I hadn't left out, and she kept on. And I said, ma'am, you're gonna refund this. And she ended up, because I wasn't budging. I was not budging. She ended up refunding. I said, and you do not have to ever worry about me. And I moved over on this side of town back in 2016. When that happened, that's a pretty good long time.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it 15?
Yes, it is.
No, it was 2015.
Okay.
No, it wasn't. It was 2014. My bad. I'm getting my stuff messed up. It was 2014 when that happened. I have not been back. I see them all the time, but you will not catch me in there. I'm not going in there. You ain't got, but certain people ain't got but one time, and I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe everybody should be that way when it comes to others, and have some compassion for us, our own. Because if you don't show compassion for your own, everybody else is gonna disrespect.
Right.
They're gonna do just like you.
You're going to have to, and that's one way to show that this is not going to be tolerated.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have multiple people stay strong and steady, you have two choices. If you have 90% of your business is people are black in color,
Mm-hmm.
that it hurts a business that becomes a reputable business of disrespect. And when you becomes a business of disrespect, why would you go there? Why?
That's what I don't understand.
Why? Why go there?
Especially when they disrespecting you.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't a rumor. You go in there to yourself and you disregards it. Do you have any type of standard? And that's how they look at you. And that's why they disrespect you. And that's why that when we say something, nothing is little and done. We want to hold our community leaders that we elect. We hold the control still. How you hold it? Disrupt the economical.
Yeah, hit them in their pockets.
Right. Disrupt it.
I still say we should be doing this now.
Mm-hmm.
In certain businesses, you don't have to go in. Hit them in their pocket.
Because back in the day, as I was growing up, that when a color of business, black business, was over business, gaining business, they'll raise the rent lease,
Mm-hmm.
raise the lease again, or not give your lease. Or depending who you're hurting, they tear up your lease and give you 30 days to get out.
Right.
And you don't know why, because you're Uncle Bob business, Uncle Tom business, cousin something business, because all his clientels
Are
is
coming.
coming him. Not just the color, but the whites.
Yeah.
All people is coming. So we got to shut you down.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, depends on where you're at, they'll run you out of that part of the city.
Yeah. They will.
Mm-hmm.
They sure will. Isn't that sad?
Yes, it is sad.
But
So you're building up, and you got to be smart
mm-hmm.
and wise, and understand what is coming. It's the same thing. They took you out of the field. You know the cotton is no longer the product. You are the product, and as long as you stay the product, they're gonna use you until they can't use you up.
That's true. I was having a conversation with a beautiful lady today,
Mm-hmm.
and we were talking about Atlanta. You know, Atlanta. A lot of people complain about Atlanta. Atlanta has these guys that's on the down low. Atlanta has this. Atlanta has these independent black women that don't know how to get a man. It's so many things that people say, but I'm gonna say this because you can have all the excuses you want, you
Mm-hmm.
can do all the blaming you want, but like it was said, Atlanta is the establishment that set the foundation and set the tone across the nation.
Right.
People have to understand that even in Atlanta, you got to be built for it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know that what you're doing is going to make a name for yourself, and it's going to make a statement for yourself. You are a brand that, you know, that a lot of people will want to get to know. But you can't sit up and make excuses and say, oh, I'm going back home and ain't nothing back in that southern town, or that town where they got but 60 people, or the town is all black and it's ran by white legislators. And you're not getting anywhere. You can't even get a job because you got to know somebody to know somebody that knows somebody.
Right.
And you going into these places and you're sitting up here blaming when you have the innate ability to create and build something. Oh yeah, we can say, yeah, you should never want to leave home from where you at, but guess what? Something is nating people that where they got to go. Sooner or later they're gonna have to get gone. And sometimes they wish I'm one that I should have left way long time ago than when I left. But at the same token, what's meant for you is meant for you. You can't sit up and say, I can't find anything if you ain't searching.
Right.
You have to open this up and figure it out. You know, I know back at home, there was a lot of people who were always saying, can't, you know, when they got out of prison, so they couldn't find a job. They couldn't find anything. I know 4 who came out of Fed prison, you know, federal prison, and came out, you know, they got this all on there in this prison system, all on them. They done did their time though. Them guys are millionaires today because they did not come out with the mindset, I need them to give me a job. Because they are setting you up for failure. And they went and they have built their businesses. And they couldn't do it from where they was in prison at.
You know what? They realize, one of the things they realize, that society is no longer going to accept them. So they made their own society.
And that's what we should always do. You know, they're always blaming, and people are always blaming, not just them, us too. Always blaming somebody else or something, that instead of us just doing what we have to do. They don't have to know until it's too late. They don't have to know. It's I mean, really, you can create anything instead of sitting up blaming. You know, there's several towns where the they do it downtown because downtown is full of a lot of other businesses.
Right.
So in order for those businesses to get your business, they put Juneteenth downtown. You know, they'll say, oh yeah, we got the NAACP in on this. They're not in it as you think.
Right.
You know, I know someone for real who went in, gave them their presentation, their marketing and everything. And they are the ones who, and it's really done by Blacks, even though it's in an area, I don't even think it's a lot of business over there, but they have a lot of things that goes on for their Juneteenth, and I'm proud of them, you know, in Powder Springs. To me, it's actually done for Blacks, by Blacks, in for Blacks. And they have a slew of different things that goes on during that. So if you're in Powder Springs, you know, go by there. You'll see.
Okay.
You know, but you know, that's making a change of something. But you don't make changes to in order to where it hinder you or make you feel a certain type of way. You make changes that's going to uplift and make the betterment of your people.
Right.
And again, y'all, like I said before, you know, you can call in or you can comment. You know, we look forward for your comments, and you to even call in if you want to make a comment and let your voice be heard. Call in at 678-888-1723. That is the number, 678-888-1723. Logan.
Yes.
How do you feel about, or what do you think about people who justifies instead of taking ownership? What do you think about that?
justified for not taking ownership.
Yeah.
If my mama would have did this, if my daddy did this, uh, if my sister would have gave me that money when she had the money but wouldn't give it to me. Uh,
But what a sister giving you money got to do with anything? I can understand it because you might feel like, well, I held her down, when she didn't have nothing, but you held her down. Did
mhm.
she ask?
No, she didn't ask. Well, I would have did it, but my back is hurting right now, and I worked all day, and maybe I could do it next week. Can you give me a dollar today? I gladly pay you Tuesday. Hmm. We can come up with some silly excuses.
Hmm.
And if you actually look at yourself, that when you end up doing things, a such thing, it's actually unjustified because you don't want to be accountable for your own action. Your own action put you there. And a lot of times that these actions is due because you rejected it, what was truly given to you, and you rejected to you. They told you not to smoke the crack pipe. They warned you about smoking the crack. Oh, I can handle that. He was just weak minded. Here you go on the corner and say, "This is below me. This I used to be prom cream." But we justify things that we've been warned not to do. You've been you have a business. Instead of building up the business that been catered within you, it's you given a recipe. Take it to a different level. If I go starving it, if I need some food today, and I got to make that food last all day, I can start with rice in the morning. I can have dessert in the evening. I can have rice pudding. So I can change that rice and biscuit to a meal, a morning meal, an afternoon dessert, and back again to a dinner.
Hmm.
You have to open your mind because we have got places where they have placed us.
Hmm.
And we need to move out. It's no justification. Well, we can't do nothing. If you can't do something because you're not open your mind to anything else, because it came to you so simple and you in your comfort level and you sitting there just like who moved my cheese, they're going to put my cheese back. You got people right now is hungry looking for a job open up just because they've been in business 60 years, 80 years, have closed shop, collected the money, and they gone. But they're gonna open the door. They're gonna open the door. Oh, master gonna open that door. He gonna open the door. He gonna give me my job back. But you sitting there, the people trying to get you to go ahead and do something. Red Lobster closed up in Memphis in the Whitehaven area. All those people now go to South Haven. Where is the seafood place? The closest seafood place that opened in Whitehaven, guess who's on it? Our
The
Asian people. It doesn't meet the standard of what the people of that community once have. You had the manager, you had a waiter, people could have got it together. And I don't want to go in, oh yeah, I'm going in there anyway. Well, all the social churches there that seen that it was a community need of what they like could have opened a franchise or had their own business there. Yeah, I went there.
Yeah.
If you church is the people, is an organized group, but we reorganize it the way that they want us to function in their way.
Mm-hmm.
Church used to be a place that we organize things and cooperate among the community in the people to build up the community, not to take from the community.
That part.
Start circling that money around. Start circling around. You want control of your community? Start building up your own community. You will have more respect out of the government down to the local government. You look at Midtown, they have their own thing. You look at Chinatown, they have their own thing. Now the Mexicans is building up their community. They have their own thing. We've been here, and so where are our social structures that they take care of our community? Where is it? Where is it?
We need to have it.
You need to have it. Stop making excuses. They have theirs. The European has theirs. You have their mega market. You have their Piggly Wiggly. You have their Kroger's.
Piggly Wiggly's still around? Oh yeah, it is. It is. It is.
Yeah, you got spots. They have theirs. They have theirs.
Yeah.
Where's ours? You allow them to take you off the corner and ditch you off in some backwood place where we was the local farmer market, where there is. It need to be constantly.
I remember even back home where the farmer's market was this one black man, and he was right there at the railroad track. I think that happens in all small towns. Well, not really small towns, but in all kind of towns where they have that one guy, and this is what he did, and then all of a sudden he disappeared. And then you saw other people coming, and they having theirs, or you will see it up the street on 51 or somewhere else, and then now all of a sudden it's around the square on Saturdays. I don't know if it's every Saturday or whatever, but they have the farmers market, but you don't see many of us out there,
right,
as it is of them.
Correct, because we get dependent on them. We got dependent going to the supermarket. We got used. We got so lazy that we don't even want to split. We used to be made fun of about eating watermelon. We have got so lazy, we don't even want to spit out a watermelon. I want to buy a watermelon with a seed in it. But do you realize that the generic change?
Genetically modified.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But that's with all the people of comfortability. But I always look for seeded watermelons. I look for anything with seeds because it's better for you. And so you can't sit up and say, well, I ain't got a choice, because you got choices in everything.
Mm-hmm.
You have a choice in everything that you do and how you move. And you can't say that it can't happen. But before we go any further, y'all, I need y'all to look at something for me.
What about Father's Day?
Oh yeah, Father's Day. That's what we finna do. We finna do Father's Day.
Okay.
You know, the best retail store that you can get to. Y'all see that QR code? Shop with KTB Enterprise Unlimited, because luxury is justified. They have been endorsed by Exquisite Taste Network. And when we said that their concierge services with colognes and perfumes and everything else in between is stellar. It's AAA plus to infinity and beyond. Mm-hmm. Anything you want, they got it. Okay. If they don't have it in stock, they will have it to you faster than you would know. So I'm telling you, y'all, Father's Day here. Every man deserves a unique smell, a signature smell. Ladies, if you like something and you know it smells good on your man, get it. Yep. I guarantee you, he won't be. He'll want this better than a pair of socks or a tie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we got to start uplifting our men, especially our black men. You know, because they feel slated, in certain ways and stuff. And it shouldn't even be that way. It just shouldn't. We got to do a better job, ladies. We really, really do. And if a black man you got with the wrong type of woman, don't blame us. Move different and get away from her and heal yourself from it, so you can really experience a true black woman who's willing to have your back and uplift you in ways that, like Beyonce's song says, you'll see God. So she can help you get to the levels that you desire to be, but you can't see. You can't. It just can't be that way. And black women, you're the same way. Because we are the worst of the worst of the worst when we talk about black men are dogs and black men ain't this and that and other third. Well, you ain't either. Because if you fix your mouth to say that, you talking about yourself too.
Mm.
Because we are them and they are us.
Right.
And we got to learn how to uplift and keep uplifting by going to shop with KTB Enterprise Unlimited, where luxury is justified. Get your man some cologne and buy you something too.
Right.
I promise you, it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he's not a cologne person, they have natural toothpastes. They have herbal things. So yeah, do that. Trust and believe. Just do that. Logan.
Yes.
What's your 2 cents?
What's my 2 cents? My 2 cents is that even that you say that you can't do it, you never know until you attempt to do it. And just because somebody tell you you can't do something doesn't mean you can't do it. Keep going. Keep trying. Keep moving. Sooner or later, you'll get out of that storm that you're in. But you'll stay in that storm long, long time until you do something about it to move forward. Because the storm going to stay there as long as the storm can. That is my 2 cents. And y'all have a nice one. Okay? I land my plane.
You land your plane?
I land my plane. It was a little turbulence, but I landed.
Well, I'm going to say this, because I feel like we are the ones who always keep it real out here in this world. We have to still keep it real. We have a long way to go as Black people. We have to understand that, that we got to start looking toward things in a different perspective and light in order for us to gain the insight and gain what we're looking for in life. Stop always blaming somebody else, because it's growing tired.
Yeah.
And a lot of people might see that I'm wrong or anything. I've been through it, done it, been there, but I don't blame people for, my exes or whatever for anything. It is what it is. What happened, happened. But guess what? I learned from it and I grew stronger. But I'm not holding on to it. I'll let you do that. I'm going to let you do that. Because I got other things to do. And if you take that perspective of knowing you got a life to live, instead of you holding on to the past and holding on to things that does not benefit you, how is you making new things happen if you holding on to the past? How are you birthing life into your children when you too worried about what your baby daddy's done? You can't get anywhere in life when you worried about what happened back then, and what you need to be doing is worried about what you got to do now.
Right.
Blaming gets you nowhere.
That's so true.
Shaming gets you nowhere. Because if you're shaming somebody, you ought to be ashamed of yourself for even attempting to do that. We are supposed to be people of uplifting. If people don't fit you for where you at, move on and find you some more. It's plenty. It's billions of us out there. Billions and billions of us out there. You don't have time not to find what works for you. My
Right.
my tribe works for me. They're not just my tribe, they are my family. Yeah, I have relatives, they think that they're my family, but you ain't. I have my family. They got my back true and true. And that's who I gun toward. I don't go toward nothing else but them. Because we right there, we understand, we got each other. And sometimes it's kind of scary. Some of them even know when I'm feeling a certain type of way and will pick up the phone and call me. And I ain't even had to say anything. Them are
Wow.
the type of people you want in your life, you know. And then y'all can move and build and make something great. And once you do that, then we won't have time for the shaming and the blaming. Juneteenth is what it is. But what we have
Yes.
to do is change that to where it just benefits us. And we move everything out that's not supposed to be a part of that. Now
Hmm.
they can come and, join in the festivities or whatever, whatever. It's fine. They might learn something. But
All
what I'm
right.
saying is we got to learn how to keep it black, keep that money black, keep that
All
money
right.
circulating to where our community get that $1 trillion effect. And we
Hmm.
prosperous and we build from that.
Right.
Not looking down at men and women who decide to buy streets. They bought streets, the land. There might not be any houses there. They bought land, and you looking down on them. Go see what you can do to help.
Hmm.
They might have had the forethought to buy it, and that's it. And they might need your expertise to help build a community on that whole street.
Yeah.
So let's stop looking, especially, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I went somewhere last weekend, and when I tell you, there was a whole lot of money in there, but it was the people, women, and there was some men there too that came together, and nobody looked down on nobody. Everybody was inspiring, was uplifting, encouraging. Some people I heard giving tips to other people who were just starting out. My goodness, that was such a good place to be. Nobody was blaming nobody for where they were at or where they were going.
Hmm.
Nobody was ashamed of who they are in what was given to them in order to do what they had to do. And we need to start looking at things like that. We need to start being more of that. And why are we talking? Because I'm done. I'm landing my plane. Because I can go on and on and on and on and on and on, and I'm not trying to do that
Right.
today. But yeah, ladies, I wanted to ask you something. And if which I'm working on, because I'm gonna do it anyway. I know a lot of women have trouble with self-imaging. Well, I'm here to bring you some people that can help you with that. You might want to put on a little makeup. You might want to fake it out to where people think you got on a whole lot of makeup, and you might not have anything but some lipstick. There are tricks to that. I used to be a makeup artist, so I know. So we're gonna have a class coming up soon, and I would love for as many women and men who decide that they wanna might be single fathers who might need to teach their daughters, and they don't want somebody
Hmm.
teaching her how to be casket sharp, and he just want her to be beautiful and natural.
Right.
Bring your daughter. But we're gonna teach you this. We're gonna teach you. Might need a signature piece. We have some Mike can get KTB involved to teach you about scents that appeals to your chemistry.
Right.
This is something that's in the works, but I want to know how many people is willing to come. And yes, you will have to pay. The day of free with exquisite taste.
What? What's what? You scratching somebody's back, or you doing a massage, ain't you?
No, I'm saying it's gone bye bye.
They going bye bye.
Yeah, because when you know your worth, and you're trying to, and it's not even me trying to make money from me, it's me being able to get things, like the building, getting a caterer or a chef to come in. And because, me, I like the exquisite taste experience. So I want everybody else to have that same experience.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're willing and you're wanting to, and I know a lot of women say, I don't like makeup, I don't do makeup, I'm my face sensitive. Well, then you stay your butt at home because I don't want to hear it. I don't
Um,
want to hear it.
may
Yeah,
I say something?
yeah.
Even that you don't know how to, you don't like makeup. One of the things that is chief is best to have is know how to properly take care of your skin.
Oh, yeah, that will be happening too.
Yeah. So
But,
you need those that don't have it,
yeah,
that like to go
it takes a lot more than just soap and water.
right.
I don't think just using, you have to, it's a lot of things you have to do with your skin.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you have to know, you have to pay to play,
Yeah.
especially in this world. Because if you'll pay them, hey, I promise you, it'll be worth it. And you'll eat good and have a couple of drinks.
What?
Yeah. You know me.
Mm.
That's why we have wine down Wednesday.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It really isn't. That's why we do Wednesdays. We have Let's Bring It to the Table. We have Knowledge Power Hour. And we're going to be having the Exquisite Taste Experience coming soon. But we have a special video that will be played Monday, I think. Might be Sunday. Just all depends. Because it is National Home Buyers Month. Y'all hear me? See, so much stuff going on in this month. You got people having a day. But who's to keep up with all of that? But and so Vanessa, she was on here before. She'll be on. And we're doing it's going to be pre-recorded, but if you have any questions for her when she comes on, the video will be there to watch. And then we'll keep it moving on. But always tune in on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Time. And we're going to keep it moving. Like I said, this is the month of Let's Bring It to the Table. We're not going anywhere.
Okay.
We just doing what we do. But Financially Free is going to be on fire when it comes back. I have one more person I need to bring, and they deal with financials, so we're working out some things for that. But other than that, then we're going to go into the business side. And if you're ready for that, and I'm also going to be having a class coming soon. I'm going to put it out there. So if you're thinking about starting a business, you don't know how to get started, I think you need to take this class. It will be. So what?
I think that'd be great because a lot of us have an idea but don't know where to start. And when we don't know where to start, we jump start just like track.
Yeah.
Pow, pow. Because you jump too soon.
Exactly. And I'm going to be giving you some deets on that and the reason behind the method to my madness when it comes to certain things. And a lot of people don't understand. They want to do things by the book. I ain't saying nothing there because this ain't the time for it. It's time to go. But like I said, if you wanna get into the SIP Makeup and More, that's the name of the event, SIP Makeup and More. Let me know. I'll be putting the invite out soon, but if you want to get in, let me know. We will have some vendors there. And it's only to cater toward SIP, Makeup, and More. Okay? So, and men, if you have anything you want us to do, let me know. I got you. I might be having a class so you can, or you're welcome to come to this one because we're going to have somebody that's going to tell you about your body. So, and it might help you out too. So, yeah, come on in. But other than that, like I always tell y'all, because it's important. Logan, you know it.
Yeah.
When respect is no longer being offered, love yourself enough to leave the table. I think I'm going to do that as a topic.
Okay.
Love yourself enough to leave the table.
Mm-hmm.
Because respect is everything. You know, respect is not one-sided. That's no different than the love that God has for us. It's not one-sided. Maybe it should be, but it's not.
All right.
When it deals with God, it's not one-sided, but when it comes to us, it is. But that's it for now.
All right.
Love yourself enough to leave that table if respect is no longer being served. And I bid you all a good night.
Good night.